He was delivering mail when the news came. The third child abduction case in the neighborhood. Harold dropped his mail bag and pulled out his old analysis notebook from his pocket. 20 minutes later, the ordinary postman was about to transform into a very different kind of intelligence specialist. From which city in the world are you watching this story today? If stories like this move you, consider subscribing to Unseen Legends for more tales of quiet heroes walking among us. Wednesday morning, 8:15 a.m. The morning routine had begun in the Maple Heights neighborhood of Denver, Colorado. Harold Morrison, 63 years old, got out of his postal truck and started his daily route. In his blue USPS uniform, thick glasses and friendly smile, he looked like an ordinary federal mail carrier. He had been working in this neighborhood for 9 years, and to most residents he was an invisible figure. Nobody knew Harold's past. To them, he was just reliable Harold, delivering mail on time, carefully handling packages, chatting with elderly residents, knowing children's names. No one knew that between 1982 and 2007, he had been one of the CIA's most valuable intelligence analysts. But this morning, something caught Harold's attention. When he reached 42 Elm Street, he saw Mrs. Rodriguez crying in her front yard. 2 police officers stood beside her, taking notes. Harold approached. He had been working in this neighborhood for 9 years. He knew every family. Mrs. Rodriguez had an 8-year-old daughter, Emma. "Mrs. Rodriguez, is everything all right?" Harold asked. The woman looked up, her eyes red. "Harold, Emma is missing. She didn't come home from school yesterday." The police officer intervened. "Sir, this is an official investigation. Please don't interfere." Alarm bells began ringing in Harold's mind. A similar case had occurred in this neighborhood last month. 7-year-old Tommy Chen had disappeared after school, found 3 days later outside the city. And 6 weeks before that, 9-year-old Sarah Williams had vanished the same way. "Third case," Harold murmured to himself. "What did you say?" the police officer asked. "Nothing, just very sad." Harold continued his route, but his mind was working. 25 years of analytical experience told him this wasn't random. 3 cases, similar age group, same neighborhood, similar time intervals. This was a pattern. When he reached Oak Avenue, he stopped. He pulled out a small notebook from his pocket. He had carried it out of habit for years. He wrote his observations about the neighborhood in it. Emma Rodriguez, 8 years old, 42 Elm Street. Disappearance date, Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. Tommy Chen, 7 years old, 28 Pine Street. Disappearance date, 3 weeks ago, Tuesday, 3:45 p.m. Sarah Williams, 9 years old, 15 Oak Avenue. Disappearance date, 6 weeks ago, Tuesday, 40 p.m. Harold stopped writing and looked. All 3 cases had occurred on Tuesdays, during school dismissal hours. This couldn't be a coincidence. He needed more data for analysis. He had been working in this neighborhood for 9 years. He knew every street, every house, every resident. If something systematic was happening here, he could notice it. After completing his route, Harold returned to the post office. He needed to talk to his supervisor, Bob. "Bob, can I take a few days off this week?" "Is there a problem, Harold?" "Personal matter. There are child abduction cases in the neighborhood. I want to help the police." Bob was surprised. "You're not a police officer, Harold. Why are you getting involved?" Harold hesitated. It was time to reveal the past he'd hidden for 9 years. "Because I know how to analyze these kinds of cases, Bob, from my previous job." "What job did you do?" "CIA, intelligence analyst." Bob's mouth fell open. "Are you serious?" 25 years. I analyzed international crime organizations, terrorist networks, kidnapping operations. Why didn't you ever mention it?" "Because it stayed in the past. But now children are in danger in this neighborhood." Bob granted the leave. Harold went on a neighborhood tour the next morning in his own car. This time not as a postman, but as an analysis specialist. His first stop was the school, Jefferson Elementary, the school all 3 children attended. He spoke with the principal, examined security cameras, observed school dismissal routines. Then he pulled out a neighborhood map. He marked the 3 disappearance points. He was looking for common points. Emma, from 42 Elm Street, toward Oak Avenue corner. Tommy, from 28 Pine Street, toward Main Street. Sarah, from 15 Oak Avenue, toward Park Boulevard. Harold looked at the map. 3 different routes, but there was one common point they all passed, the bus stop on Main Street. He went to this stop. He examined the surroundings. Across from it was an auto repair shop, next to it a small market, and a little further down a park. He entered the repair shop. The owner was a middle-aged man with oil stains on his hands. "Good day, are you new to working in the neighborhood?" he asked. "No, I'm the postman here, Harold Morrison." "Ah yes, I know you. I'm Mike. I've been running this business for 3 months. This was the detail that caught Harold's attention. 3 months. The first disappearance case was also 6 weeks ago. "How's business?" "Good, especially busy during school dismissal. Kids pass by here." "Which kids?" "Lots of kids. School is close." Harold wanted to ask more questions but didn't want to arouse suspicion. He left the shop and crossed the street. He talked to the elderly woman working at the market. Mrs. Patterson had been working here for 15 years. "Mrs. Patterson, when did the repair shop across the street open?" 3 months ago. A man named Mike. Seems like a good person. What was there before? It was empty. The owner had been looking for a tenant for 2 years. Harold took notes. The timing was very aligned. What do you know about Mike? He's not very talkative, but he's very kind to children, always chatting with kids. This sentence triggered all of Harold's alarms. His CIA experience had taught him predator profiles. Newly arrived, location close to children, overly interested in children. Harold returned to his car and made a detailed observation plan. For 3 days, he would monitor this area during school dismissal hours. First day, he took position at 3:30 p.m. Mike was standing in front of his shop, talking to passing children. He was acting more friendly than normal. Second day, he noticed Mike had longer conversations with certain children, especially with children walking alone. Third day, he saw Mike giving candy to a little girl. Children shouldn't accept candy from strangers. Harold was now certain he needed to go to the police. He went to Denver Police Station. He wanted to speak with Detective Sarah Chen. Detective Chen, I have important information about the child abduction cases. Who are you? Harold Morrison, neighborhood postman, but also former CIA analyst. Chen looks suspicious. CIA, 25 years. You can check my files. I analyzed these cases. Harold pulled out his map, showed the timeline, explained the patterns. All 3 cases on Tuesdays, in the same area. Common point is Main Street bus stop, and there's been a new repair shop there for 3 months. That's very general suspicion. No, the shop owner Mike is overly interested in children. He targets lone children. He gives candy. This is predator behavior pattern. Chen thought. So what's your evidence? Let's do surveillance. Today is Tuesday. If the pattern continues, there might be another attempt today. Chen accepted the plan with her team. Harold determined observation points. 3 p.m. The team took positions. Harold was observing Mike. Police were controlling the area. At 3:30 p.m., schools closed. Children spread into the streets. Mike came out of his shop, looked at the children. He seemed to be looking for a specific child. Then Harold saw her, an 8-year-old girl, walking alone. Mike approached her. Hey little lady, want some candy? The girl hesitated, but Mike was insistent. I have very nice toys in my shop. Want to see them? Harold gave information over the radio. Target is moving. Made contact with child. Mike was trying to direct the girl toward the shop. Now, Chen said. The police team moved. Mike was shocked. Tried to run, but was caught. When they searched the shop, horrifying evidence was found. Child photographs, identity information, kidnapping plans. I confess, Mike said in custody, but I didn't harm the children. Where is Sarah Williams? Chen asked. In a safe place. I took them all to safe places. The children were found. They were safe. Mike had taken them to other states to sell them, but hadn't harmed them yet. Chen turned to Harold. This analysis was incredible. How did you solve it so quickly? Pattern recognition. I analyzed crime networks for 25 years at CIA. Timing, location, behavior pattern. Oh, classic predator profile. Why did you become a postman after retirement? Because the war ended, but protecting neighborhoods didn't end. Would you work as a consultant at the police department? Harold thought. Maybe the next chapter of retirement could be protecting children. I could consider part-time. The following week when Harold returned to Maple Heights, everything was different. Neighborhood residents saw him as a hero. Mrs. Rodriguez hugged him. Harold, you saved our daughter. I just did my job, Mrs. Rodriguez, but your background stayed in the past. I'm still the same Harold. Young Mother Johnson asked, Mr. Harold, did you really do espionage? Intelligence Analyst Johnson, different thing, but principles are the same. Observe carefully, recognize patterns, protect innocent people. Bob the postal supervisor approached. Harold, FBI is calling you. They want consultation on child abduction cases. Harold looked at his mailbag, then at the children in the neighborhood. Maybe he could do both. 2 days a week consulting, 3 days mail. I'll both protect children and deliver mail. The most unusual postman in Maple Heights. The man who catches child abductors while delivering mail. And the truth was, Harold loved both. Sometimes the most extraordinary people hide in the most ordinary places. Men like Harold deliver mail in neighborhoods, but their eyes still see dangers. Their skills don't rust. Their training doesn't sleep. The next time you see an ordinary postman, remember, they might be protecting you in ways you never imagined. Have you ever met someone who appeared ordinary but had an extraordinary background? Tell us in the comments. And if you want to hear more stories about quiet protectors like Harold Morrison, subscribe to Unseen Legends. Because sometimes the best protection is hidden in the neighborhood postman. This story is a work of fiction created to honor the spirit of service. Any resemblance to actual persons or events is purely coincidental.